The gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Maryland, Representative Sarbanes, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thanks very much, Mr. Chairman. Administrator Regan, I think you're doing a terrific job. Keep it up. It's not easy, but the Biden administration is setting the standard we need if we're going to protect our environment, combat climate change, and do what's right for the planet. So thank you for that. As you know, we're at a very critical point in the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay, the nation's largest estuary, one of the most productive bodies of water in the world, and it's an invaluable natural and cultural resource. In 2014, the 7 jurisdictions in the watershed, Maryland, Virginia, D.C., Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Delaware, and New York, came together with the EPA to sign a new Chesapeake Bay watershed agreement that set goals and outcomes to restore the bay by 2025. Much of the implementation of the Bay Agreement is managed through the unique regional partnership of EPA's Chesapeake Bay program, as you know, which coordinates restoration efforts across states, agencies, and stakeholders. There's just no substitute for EPA's role here, which is both as an enforcer of pollution reduction targets and a valued convener of all the partners who have committed to reaching our restoration outcomes. And recently I met with Adam Ortiz, who's the Region 3 Administrator, of course you know that, and Martha Shimkin, who's the Director of the EPA Chesapeake Bay program, to talk about this very, very important role that EPA plays. Could you just describe some of the goals that the Bay program is pursuing with the record level of appropriations we've been able to muster here, as well as the supplemental funds from the bipartisan infrastructure law?
Well, thank you for that question, and congratulations on your retirement. We're going to miss your leadership. I would say that since 2022, we've awarded more than $114 million in bill funding to accelerate all of the programs that are designed to protect this national treasure. And we are very fortunate with some of the regional leadership that we have and the scientists that we have on board to engage as many of us engage as many of our partners as possible on the science, on the economics, and on the latest and greatest best management practices and technologies to restore the Bay. As we look beyond 2025, because obviously we have fallen short of those goals we set, we are excited to prepare recommendations for the Chesapeake Executive Council this fall, which will contain a lot of recommendations for the very things that we've done and the lessons learned there. So we have been laser focused on this. We've worked with all of the states surrounding to reduce their pollution into the Bay. And we recognize not only the ecological and ecosystem dynamism of the Bay, but also the economic and the recreational aspects as well.
Thank you. Obviously, looking beyond 2025 now is absolutely critical. The Bay Partnership has an opportunity this year, led by the Bay Program, to lean into the restoration effort, reaffirming, updating the Bay Agreement, keeping it strong and robust, incorporating new science, streamlining administration, and revising goals according to what we found works to clean up the Bay and its waterways. I assume you would like to see a very robust update of the agreement between the Chesapeake partners.
Absolutely.
The expectations are high, I want you to know, certainly within our delegation, but I think beyond, if you look at members of Congress who are served from the watershed, the kind of geography of the watershed, they bring high expectations of the EPA's role, what it can do to, again, as I say, lean into the new horizon when it comes to strengthening these protections of the Bay and meeting important goals and setting important goals and using the authority that the EPA has under various authorities, et cetera, to make sure that everybody is cooperating, that the convener role is as strong as it can possibly be. You mentioned the Chesapeake Executive Council coming up in December, which is made up of the signatories to the Bay Agreement. That's going to be happening in Annapolis. It's to decide what the next steps are for meeting those expectations, those high expectations beyond 2025. Having you personally join that meeting would send a very powerful message about EPA's and your support for the Bay cleanup, and I'd love to get a commitment today that you'll attend in December. Is that something that you're planning to do?
It's on the radar. The date hasn't been selected, but we're going to do our best to time that date with our schedule.
I would give it the highest priority if you could. I think, again, it would send a very powerful message. I think your absence from it might unfortunately send the counter message in terms of focus. So would love to see you there. Again, I want to thank you for your leadership in restoring this national treasure that we certainly cherish in Maryland. And thank you for your good work, and look forward to collaborating as we move forward. With that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.